So here we go. Opening tip. Minutemen and Rams. And the opening tip won by Ryan Brooks. The Rams will go to work on the offensive end with Mike Powell. Powell now over for Malone. Playing in his final game in a Rhodey uniform. Began his career at Auburn. Milesevic, a little floater, gets it to go. Rams up 2-0.
Well, certainly Nick Milesevic looks like he's ready to play this afternoon. And Mike Powell, right now on the defensive end for Rhode Island is going to be such an important player. Chaz Williams just can do everything. Shoots the ball well, drives it to the hole well. And Mike Powell's played a lot of minutes this season, and he just may be a little leg really weary at this point.
So UMass getting their first crack on the offensive end. Dump it into the corner for Terrell Vincent. Now for Carter. Down to 10 on the shot clock for UMass. Vincent looking inside. Big collision in the paint. And we're going to get an offensive foul called against the Minutemen. That one's going to get charged to Samson Carter.
And the two seniors right now making an impact, Milesevic and Ryan Brooks. Here, Ryan does a nice job getting right into the lane where Carter's going, and just does a nice job coming up with that offensive foul.
Ryan Brooks now will bring it across midcourt. Hands off to Powell. Powell picked up right away by Chaz Williams. First team All-Atlantic 10 a season ago. Making a serious bid to be on that team again this year. Again, number 5 in the nation in assists is Chaz Williams. And we're going to get an offensive foul now against Rhode Island on an illegal screen set by Ryan Brooks.
Well, a little confusion for Rhode Island, the offensive end that time. Couldn't quite get into a set. Ryan Brooks came up to set that screen for Mike Powell. Got there just a little bit late, so he was still moving a little bit. Offensive foul on Ryan Brooks.
Chaz Williams will bring it up again for UMass. Picked up by Powell. Now dumps it over for Riley. Up top it goes for Vincent, who's been red hot as of late, shooting 50% in his last 9 games. Three-pointer on the way and good from Riley. And the Minutemen take a 1-point lead.
Well, that certainly was not for lack of defense for Rhode Island. Right in his face at time. Great shot by Riley.
Xavier Munford back the other way. Can't get it to go. Hauled in by Lalane. Here comes UMass. Williams surveys the scene, finds Vincent. Three-pointer on the way, no good. And Brooks able to haul it in for Rhode Island. Pushed up ahead now, Xavier Munford. Looks for Malone beyond the arc. Malone feeding Milesevic. Big mismatch. Milesevic, a left hand off the glass and in.
Well, if they can get that mismatch, that's going to be gravy for Milesevic all day long. Did a nice job just turning right on Williams. Nothing special. Didn't put the ball on the floor. Just turned around. Shot that off the glass with his left hand.
Yeah, Milesevic with a 10-inch advantage over Williams. He's listed at 5'9". Milesevic at 6'7". Williams picked up again by Powell. Down to 16 on the shot clock. And we're going to have another turnover on UMass. Another foul against the Minutemen. This one against Vincent. It's going to be his first of the game. Second on UMass of the half. He'll take a seat. Now checking in for head coach Kellogg will be Raphael Putney. Rams back to work now on the offensive end. Milesevic leaves it for Malone. Now swings it over for Powell. Powell picked up by Chaz Williams. Finds Malone. Three-pointer on the way. Count it! Andre Malone delivers from downtown.
Well, Andre Malone has had a couple of games where he's been able to take that three-point shot. I don't think they found him enough in the offense, but certainly today the senior is taking care of business.
Vincent driving in on Milesevic, able to lay it off the glass for 2. Strong move that time from Terrell Vincent. Again, through his last 9 games, averaging almost 16 points per contest. Mike Powell leads the Rhodey offense here through Malone and now over Milesevic. Powell picked up once again by Williams. That'll be the matchup of the day. Rams already down to about 12 on the shot clock. Big screen set by Brooks. They kick it outside. Malone for 3. Count it again. Andre Malone with back-to-back threes.
Well, right now, URI red hot. The seniors taking care of business. Andre Malone with his second three-pointer in a row. Right now, the Rams have good production on the offensive end, good flow. They're not playing into the pace that UMass wants them to play right now.
Riley nearly traveled that time, but was able to find Vincent. Over for Williams now. Williams trying to get it inside for Lalane. He finds him. Double team by Malone. To the corner it goes. Riley Three-ball corner pocket for UMass. Makes it a 2-point game.
Well, that time, Andre Malone comes down to help out Ryan Brooks on the lane down inside, and UMass does a nice job swinging the basketball until they found somebody open in the corner with Freddie Riley shooting that jump shot. That's going to be 3 every time.
So just over 4 minutes in, Rhode Island already a blistering 4 of 5 from the field, as Munford now able to reset the offense for the Rams. Munford inside, Brooks. Tough shot off the glass, no good. Putney there for the rebound. Ball still loose, and coming away with it is Caddy Lalane. Up ahead it goes for Williams. Williams looking to drive the lane. He's met by Brooks and Powell. Again, they're trying to feed it inside for Lalane. Double team by Milesevic, and looked to be a travel. It was. Timeout on the floor. We'll take one as well, with Rhode Island leading UMass 10-8 here on OSN.
Lane down on the block, but Rhode Island has doubled up on him twice, this time successfully, with Nick Milesevic coming down low to help out and forcing the travel violation.
Certainly, we've seen a good start to the game by the 3 Rhode Island seniors. We've yet to see their grad student, Alwayne Bigby, but sure we'll get a look at him before this one's over, as Buchanan now looks at a full-court press by the Minutemen, and Chaz Williams able to come up with a steal. Williams quickly to the hole. Dishes off looking for Putney. Back outside for Williams. Now Riley fakes the 3, drives inside, kicks it outside for Putney again, and another shuffle of the feet for the Minutemen, and another UMass turnover.
Well, UMass doing a nice job moving the basketball around the floor, trying to find themselves open shots, but Rhode Island doing a nice job helping and recovering and forcing at least a couple turnovers on travel violations by UMass.
So the Minutemen now trying to get after it a little bit more defensively, picking up the pressure. Malone has to go all the way up top for Buchanan, who's checked in. Already the Minutemen with 4 turnovers to just 2 for the Rams. Amon now, who's checked in as well. Hands off to Buchanan now for Milesevic. Milesevic tries to gain the baseline, kicks it outside. Malone for 3, no good. That's his first miss from long range today. Williams back the other way, finds Putney. Putney nearly traveled again, has to reset through Chaz Williams. Williams off the head of Buchanan, picked off now by Malone. Quickly ahead, back for Buchanan. Buchanan looking for Amon. Amon going up strong, gets fouled. He'll head to the line for 2.
Well, nice job that time by Rhode Island. They had a nice control fast break there, got the ball underneath the basket. That ball came back to Mike Amon. He did exactly what he should do. Not stand back and let the shot blocker have an opportunity to time you and block that shot. He takes one big step, takes it right into the chest, forces him to make the foul, and he goes to the free throw line for 2. Nice job by Mike Amon.
So Amon, a 70% free throw shooter on the season. And for each free throw made by the Rams this season at the Ryan Center, CVS Pharmacy will donate $25 to the Easter Seals of Rhode Island. CVS Pharmacy, proud partners of University of Rhode Island basketball. So Amon splits a pair. UMass able to get the rebound. Here's Williams. To the outside, Putney thought about 3, now drives inside. Floater doesn't go, ball still loose, and Buchanan able to scrap for it for the Rams. Buchanan now settles it down. Gets his men in motion. Now here's Munford. Munford, the 3rd leading scorer in the Atlantic 10, coming off one of his toughest performances, only 3 points in the loss to St. Joe's. Munford comes up a little bit short there. Williams now back the other way for UMass. Long range 3, got hit in the process. He will head to the line for 3.
Oh, just a mental error there by Xavier Munford, fouling him on that three-point shot. Deep 3. Certainly Chaz Williams able to make that shot, but certainly you don't want to send him to the line and give him 3 free ones.
Now Williams on the season, a 77% free throw shooter. Comes in as the only Division I player averaging 15 points, 7 assists, and 4 rebounds. Pretty gaudy stats there for the junior out of Brooklyn, New York. Second shot from Williams is good. Mike Powell returns to the lineup for Rhode Island. Now in for UMass will be Tyler Bergantino and also Maxi Esho. Esho, the sophomore out of Upper Marlboro, Maryland. Bergantino, a freshman out of Spring Hill, Florida. Third shot from Williams is good. makes it a 1-point game.
And once again, UMass applying full court pressure at zone. They relent just a little bit, falling back into their normal half-court defense, man-to-man.
See how the Rams attack it this time. Here's Buchanan looking for Malone. Malone quickly to Milesevic. He'll put up the three. Count it! Nikola Milesevic for three. Gives the Rams a 4-point lead. Knicks got 7. Back the other way, Riley, no good. We have a foul underneath the basket. And they're going to get the foul on the Minutemen's Maxi Esho. His first, team's third. Checking in for UMass now will be Trey Davis, the freshman out of Dallas, Texas. Malone, get it in for Amon. Andre Malone will bring it up, working against Esho. Able to get by him, now leaves it off for Milesevic.
They're just really toking pressure by UMass. I think trying to get URI to play at a little bit faster pace, but Rhode Island's doing a nice job just controlling the ball, bringing it down, getting into their half-court set.
Powell now with 10 on the shot clock. Kicks it outside. Milesevic for three. That one's going to be short and handled by Bergantino. Minutemen in transition. Here's Davis. Was looking for Williams, but had to go for Bergantino. Williams now. Picked up by Buchanan, trying to find some space underneath. They whip it around. Davis now from the free throw line. Picks it over for Esho. Esho in the lane. Short shot doesn't go, and the Rams throw it out of bounds. It'll stay with UMass.
But Rhode Island really fighting on the glass, and they're undersized in there right now with Putney and Esho and Bergantino in the game right now. And you have to wonder when and if Jordan Hare is going to come in the game. As soon as I say that, he gets off the bench and comes in because right now URI is very much undersized underneath.
Perfect timing as usual, Abu, as Hare checks in alongside Alwayne Bigby, playing in his final game in a Rhode Island uniform after just one season, as he graduated from Northeastern last year. They will play one final year here at URI. Williams now thought about three. Now they give it up. Putney will launch the three ball. That one's going to go long, and Hare with a rebound for the Rams.
Yeah, Jordan Hare, nice rebound that time, and certainly him coming in the game already has an impact, certainly with his length against against UMass on the inside.
Xavier Munford now works on the perimeter, finds Bigby. Bigby to the outside. Buchanan gains the baseline. No look pass for Bigby. Will have to back it out. Buchanan now launches the three, no good. Hare fighting for the rebound, but pushed off from behind. Brings us to another media timeout here at the Ryan Center. The Rams still leading 14-10. We'll be back with more on Owen.
That game had 27-2 off of his career high, and certainly they cannot afford to let him go wild the way he did up in Amherst in this particular game. But Rhode Island right now controlling the pace very nicely, and the two seniors doing a great job. Nick Milesevic and Andre Malone have 13 of the Rams' 14 points.
Rhode Island shooting the ball well here in the first half. 5 of 11, good for 46%. Alley-oop good for Esho, as he's able to make it a 2-point game.
Right now, a mismatch. That time, Alwayne Bigby got caught on the screen at the top of the key. Wide open alley-oop for Esho.
Munford now hands off for Powell, as the Rams trying to build on what's a 2-point lead. Powell and Williams going at it right in front of Coach Kellogg, as he was looking for a foul on Mike Powell. Buchanan picked up his dribble, now able to find Munford. Launches the three, he's going to be short, and Bergantino with the board. Up ahead now, Williams. Williams leaves it for Davis. Over now, Putney. Putney, offensive foul, as getting back and in position was T.J. Buchanan.
Well, T.J. Buchanan doing his usual great job on the defensive end. Really a mismatch there with Putney putting the ball on the floor against the guard. T.J. Buchanan just does a nice job getting excellent defensive position. They see the ball on the floor. T.J. sees him coming in that direction. Easy play for him.
And for Putney, that's his second foul of the game, so he has to take a seat on the bench now. It's also the 6th turnover of the game for the Minutemen, who average 14 per contest. Powell and the Rams back to work. It's picked up by Davis. Munford all alone for three, but Riley closing in quickly. Finds Buchanan. Buchanan going baseline, sealed off by Bergantino. Brings it back out. They'll reset with Munford. Down to 10 on the shot clock. Hare trying to set a screen. Munford leaving it for Bigby. 3-ball, no good that time. And Esho the rebound for the Minutemen. Davis now brings it up ahead. Dumps it into the corner for Carter. Shot no good. Bergantino the rebound, has it stolen away by Munford. Riley tracking him down as Munford now goes baseline. Slip inside the move there. Able to find just enough space to lay it in.
X really excited about that play because he hasn't really been on track for the last game, certainly at St. Joe's and now here. But that was a beautiful move.
Davis shot no good. Bergantino's follow no good. Carter, third attempt for the Minutemen that time. Gets it to go, and it's a 2-point game again. Rams just simply getting beat on the inside that time. Too many offensive rebounds for the Minutemen if you're a Rhodey fan. Powell now picked up by Davis. Trying to create some separation using his free arm. Powell back up top for Munford. Faced up against Riley. Launches the three and gets it to go. Xavier Munford, cool as ice. 5 points now for number 5.
And hot as a pistol. All of a sudden, Xavier Munford doesn't take him long to warm up when he starts getting it going.
Already more points today than he had against St. Joseph's on Wednesday. Esho puts it on the floor, drives through, and this time we're going to get a blocking foul on the Rams. As not quite getting to the spot in time was T.J. Buchanan.
Well, T.J. tries it once again, and he was sliding just a little bit to his left when that contact was made. The referee calls that foul. But, you know, Mike Powell in the game plays so many minutes, but he's really key, really for Rhode Island. Here's Esho coming down the lane. That was the one where T.J. just wasn't able to get in front of him to be able to pick up that second offensive foul.
So line change here for UMass as 3 guys come in. Vincent, Williams, and also checking back in is Freddie Riley. Carter will have inbounding duties. A fresh 35 seconds for the Minutemen to work with. Rams doing a good job. They're able to get it in for Vincent. Vincent puts it on the floor against Malone. Up off the glass and in, and able to draw the contact. He'll head to the line for 1.
Well, just a clear advantage for Vincent that time. Nice clear out. Dribbles the ball toward the free throw line. Just does a little drop step. Gets that ball up on the glass. Andre, really nothing he could do there once he was on his back. So you see nice little spin move right there. Just a little drop step. Puts that up with his left hand. Not much you can do there except watch that ball go in the basket.
And Vincent, a 67% free throw shooter, makes the Rams pay as he completes the 3-point play. Rams with a 2-point lead and possession. Here's Mike Powell. Powell backs up, gets the new play from Coach Hurley. It's animated as ever. Brooks now. Hands off for Powell, down to 15 on the shot clock. Milesevic stared down by Riley, trying to use a screen from Brooks. Milesevic, skip pass over from Munford, fakes the 3, now launches the 3. That one's going to be short and handled by Caddy Lalane. In transition, Chaz Williams using the B-button turbo. Now kicks it outside. Riley for 3. Count it. And all of a sudden, UMass on top by 1.
Well, Freddie Riley is just a dead shooter from three-point land, and he's gotten free a couple of times. The first one, he had hands all in his face. That one looked just a little bit too much space to give Freddie Riley on the outside.
Yeah, Riley now with 9 points on the day. He's 3 of 4 from three-point range as well. Munford working against Williams. Now leaves it for Powell. Powell backing up again. Now hands off for Malone. Over for Munford. Munford trying to find some space. Off the glass and in. Another tough shot for Xavier Munford. Munford now with 7. Back the other way. Riley can't connect that time from downtown. Loose ball picked up by Munford. Here come the running Rams. Munford for Brooks through the lane, and we're going to have a foul on the Minutemen. Also brings us to another media timeout here at the Ryan Center with 7:32 remaining. Rhode Island leading by 1.
Go to the free throw line, try to make 2. But good job inside by the guard, big guard, Andre Malone, to give URI an opportunity to get down the floor.
And at the line now for the Rams, Ryan Brooks, the senior, playing in his final game. 37% free throw shooter on the season, but makes good on the first.
And 100% so far, so far tonight. That one snuck in the side a little bit.
See if he could do it again. He does. Well, nice to see the senior delivering here on Senior Day. 23-20 now for the Rams. Mike Amon checks back in, replacing Brooks. See TJ Buchanan here having a nice little laugh about those couple of free throws with Brooks. Chaz Williams now works it over for Carter. Now they drop it in. As Lalane, check that. Yep, Lalane able to deliver for 2 points on the inside. Makes it a 1-point game again.
Yeah, they got that ball to Lalane in the only place that they could, threw that right over the top. Of course, once it got inside, there was really nothing that Mike Amon could do except watch him score.
Amon going for the dunk, gets rejected. Malone driving hard. He gets fouled up on the way in, and he'll head to the line for 2.
And Mike Amon does a nice job setting that screen and then slipping it, getting inside, and UMass does a better job coming over and helping from the weak side. Very nice pass on the inside, but UMass does a nice job coming over and helping out. But Andre Malone once again on the glass, giving URI an opportunity to still get 2 points.
So 2 fouls now on Vincent. Puts Malone at the line, averaging 10 points per game, shooting 77% from the free throw line. 7 points now for the senior from Atlanta, Georgia. And so far, Abu, it's great to see the 3 seniors really having a nice game so far in the first half.
Well, they have. And I mean, they're quality players, and the season certainly hasn't worked out the way that they would have liked. But both of those players have made excellent contributions to this program.
Chaz Williams now brings it up ahead for the Minutemen. Leaves it for Putney, who's checked back in with his 2 fouls, and he's able to slice through for 2. Andre Malone leaving it for Powell. Pounded by Williams again. Trying to get some separation now, finds Amon. Over for Malone. Malone dumps it from Munford. 3-pointer on the way. That one's short. 2 Minutemen fighting for the rebound, and then we have a foul underneath the basket as Milesevic getting tied up with Williams.
And really upset about that call. That ball got on the floor, and both he and Williams were going for it. Looked like it might have been even a loose ball situation, but Milesevic that time got called for that foul.
Yeah, Milesevic picking up his first foul of the game. He had some foul trouble down the stretch last couple of games, but so far just with 1 today.
We see Mike Amon battles that time. Yeah, a little bit of a push on the shoulder by Nick Milesevic trying to come up with that steal.
Williams now working against Powell. Just over 6 minutes remaining in the first half. It's been tight all the way through so far. Putney wide open 3 and cans it. Rams can't afford to leave him wide open like that.
Boy, a little confusion over there. Mike Powell and Andre Malone kind of going back and forth trying to figure out who to cover.
And another Rhode Island turnover. That's 4 on the day. Quickly slicing through the lane with Samson Carter. And the Minutemen have a 4-point lead, forcing Dan Hurley to call timeout. Obviously, Coach Hurley not liking what he saw in that last sequence. Ball was loose near midcourt. Hare couldn't jump on it, and the Minutemen able to take advantage.
Well, a couple of mistakes by the Rams that time. One, a missed assignment on the defense, and then just a little sloppy play against the zone pressure. They've been handling that pretty well, except for that play winds up being, really 5 quick points for UMass.
And University of Rhode Island basketball is brought to you in part by Wakefield Liquors. Fine wines, beers, and liquors. Uniquely designed to relax and browse through your favorite selections. So a 7-0 run by the Minutemen in the last minute of play has given UMass a 4-point lead over the Rams. As they were forced to call timeout and talk things over. We'll see what they come up with here, as it looks like the Minutemen are going to press a little bit more on the defensive end. Quickly it comes in for Milesevic. Rams trying to break the press. They find Jordan here at midcourt. Now he hands off for Powell. Munford now.
And when Mike Powell has had the ball in his hands, he's done a really nice job controlling the pace for URI, getting them into their offensive stretch.
Alone in front of the UMass bench, able to draw a foul on Samson Carter. And on Carter, that's going to be his 2nd foul of the day. Rhode Island in the bonus, so Malone will head to the line for a 1-and-1 opportunity. Powell checks out. In comes TJ Buchanan. Malone already with 8 points on the day and averages 10 points exactly on the season. First shot from Malone is perfect. Makes it a 3-point game again here at the Ryan Center. And the Rams with a chance to play a bit of a spoiler. UMass trying for that 6th seed in the A-10 tournament. Could fall down as low as number 10 in the A-10 seedings. As Malone cans the second free throw as well. Back to a 2-point game. Williams had picked up his dribble, able to get it there to Riley. Has it stripped away, ball loose. And Riley falls out of bounds with it. It'll be a Rhodey ball.
Well, once again on the defensive end, Rhode Island really stepping up their game. And it started, with the excellent defense by T.J. Buchanan against Chaz Williams. Forced him to give up the basketball. And then from there, Riley trying to dribble into the basket. And three UR players converge and finally forced that turnover.
And Williams, who's usually a Ram killer, so far only 2 points on the day for the Minutemen.
Well, they've done a nice job containing him. And that has started with Mike Powell.
Three-pointer on the way from Milesevich, no good. Williams able to haul in the rebound. He'll bring it up ahead for UMass. Williams keeps it alive. Now dishes outside for Davis. Thought about the long three. He's picked up by Malone. Inside it goes Esho, trying to get the step on Hare, rejected. Into the hands of Buchanan, and here comes Rhode Island. T.J. Buchanan trying to get around Williams, using a screen from Milesevich. The alley-oop, no good from Hare. And now Williams in transition. Williams quickly to the hoop, has his shot altered. Lalane through the middle, and an offensive foul on Caddy Lalane.
Well, Rhode Island playing really hard, doing a nice job on the defensive end. Jordan Hare came up with that block. Another one against Chaz Williams. UMass comes up with the offensive rebound, but once again, URI in great position. T.J. Buchanan comes up with that offensive foul. And there you see the missed dunk by Jordan Hare. Chaz Williams comes down, does what he does so well. But then you see URI really helps out Milesevich, and then finally T.J. Buchanan comes up with that offensive foul.
Well, you said in your keys to the game, the Rams would have to play for pride. They've certainly done that through the first 16 minutes of the game. They find themselves, though, down by 2. Andre Malone now trying to find Munford, who was picked up by Williams. Malone now over for Buchanan, down to 10 on the shot clock. He's picked up by Davis. Buchanan keeps it alive and gets fouled by Esho as he drew contact to the head.
Well, Rhode Island has been very aggressive on the offensive end, but playing within their system. And that time, T.J. Buchanan does a nice job drawing the foul. And UMass over in the double bonus situation, so URI every time will get an opportunity to take 2 shots at the free throw line.
Buchanan, a 58% free throw shooter on the season, has a chance to tie the game for the Rams. Makes good on the first. Alwayne Bigby and Mike Powell return to the lineup for Coach Hurley. Out go Malone and Munford for the time being, with 4:05 remaining in the first half. Buchanan on the season averaging about 3.5 points per game. Second one is no good, and Williams there for another board. Williams up ahead for Davis. Now finding Esho. Esho through the lane is going to get fouled by the Rams. And he'll head to the line when we return, as we've got another media timeout on the floor. 3:57 remaining. The Rams down by 1. Honoring the Sweet 16 team from 1988. Standing ovation from the crowd here in Kingston. And rightfully so.
Huge ovation for Al Skinner, who, of course, was an assistant coach under Tom Penders and then wound up being a head coach here at URI. Had his own success going into the NCAA tournament.
And there we see at the end of the line, Coach Tom Penders.
And before Penders, Bonzi Colson, who has a son right now, is playing and being very highly recruited around the country.
Always nice when they're able to bring back some of the history here at the University of Rhode Island as they continue to build this program up and try to reach those levels again.
Well, and Tom Penders really got the ball rolling with that Sweet 16 run. That was a team that really had tremendous amount of talent, and he coached them just the way that they needed to be coached to be able to get to that level. Kind of loose and fast. Did a great job, and of course went on from URI down to Texas.
Certainly did. Now making his home here in Rhode Island as Maxi Esho at the line for the Minutemen. Makes good on the first. Pushes the lead back up to 2. And if we're looking at the stats here through the first 16 minutes and change, Rhode Island struggling on the glass as UMass out-rebounding them by 8, 17-9. Bigby, though, able to come up with a board there as the Rams back in business with Mike Powell. Powell pushes it up ahead for Buchanan, now leaving it for Bigby. Bigby pulls up the dribble. As Rhode Island has struggled as of late from three-point range, missing 7 of their last 8 attempts from long range. They force it inside this time for Bigby. Tough turnaround, no good. And Lane there for the Minutemen.
Well, that time Bigby had Chaz Williams on him on the block, and that's an opportunity just to really take your time. Chaz Williams, certainly undersized, and Bigby would have had an opportunity to really make that shot pretty easily over, but rust that just a little bit.
Patty Lane already with 6 rebounds here this afternoon. Riley takes the handoff from Esho. Now leaves it for Williams. Down to 12 on the shot clock for UMass. Inside it goes for Lane, and he's fouled by Amon. Foul on the floor. But UMass in the bonus. They'll head to the line for a 1-and-1. Munford checks back in, as does Milesevic for Rhode Island.
And that time on the defensive end, Mike Amon just got caught behind the lane once again. And, of course, too much size on the inside to be able to play behind a player like that. He really has to fight a little bit harder to come over the top, make them force that shot, make them force the pass over the top.
And normally a pretty good shooter at the line at 73%. Lane misses that one, and the Rams come away with it. Rhode Island a chance to tie or take the lead. Powell met by Williams again. Leaves it for Milesevic. Milesevic trying to drive through the lane. And we're going to have a foul on Riley. Riley not happy with that one, but that'll put Milesevic at the line for 2. A senior out of Uzice, Serbia, shooting 67% from the line on the season.
And Rhode Island's ability to put the ball on the floor has really created some problems for UMass. They're reaching in, quite a bit, and URI going to the free throw line once again.
Milesevic looking very confident on that shot. Makes it a 1-point game. The Rams so far 9 of 11 from the free throw line today. As a team on the season, 67%. That's good for 11th in the conference. Milesevic a little bit short on that one. Keeps it at a 1-point margin for UMass. Davis now. Leaves it for Williams. Williams picked up this time by T.J. Buchanan. Using the screen from Lane. Outside for Davis to the corner for Esho. Esho dumps it in for Lane. Has Amon all over him, and coming from behind was Milesevic with the block.
Well, that time Mike Amon once again gets caught behind the lane, but Nick Milesevic does a great job coming down to help out. But once again, Mike Amon cannot afford to play behind this way, in this way. But Nick Milesevic doing a great job coming in and helping out.
Down to 10 on the shot clock now for UMass. Here's Williams. Williams puts it on the floor, now trying to break down Buchanan. Outside it goes for Davis. Foot on the line, wild shot, no good. Buchanan went down hard. He's in a heap of pain. Powell the other way. Munford with the jam on the alley-oop. And the Rams take a 1-point lead. But Buchanan on the floor in some serious pain as it looked like he might have got poked in the face.
Yeah, that was a lot of contact on that jump shot, the Trey Davis jump shot. Looked like they may have bumped heads on that play, and certainly T.J. Buchanan, tough player, but sometimes if you get poked in the eyes, nothing you can do about that. But URI doing a great job on that fast break, and Xavier Munford signaled to Mike Powell just about half court that he wanted that alley-oop play. There you see they probably crashing, butting heads just a little bit on that play. But there you see Xavier Munford just signaling to Mike Powell right around half court, saying, throw that up on the rim for me. And Xavier Munford showing his athleticism.
So Buchanan still getting treated now by head trainer Mike Montero, and Coach Hurley speaking with him as well. As here's another look at that alley-oop from Munford.
Yeah, Xavier Munford just having a tremendous season. And Mike Powell doing such a nice job, so important. He has not taken a shot thus far in this first half. Has been focusing on playing defense against Chaz Williams, and also making certain that Rhode Island runs his offense effectively. He's done both very well.
He certainly has. As on that last replay, you kind of saw an inadvertent elbow from Davis is what caught Buchanan as he fired up that wild shot, which led to the transition basket by the Rams. So with 2:06 remaining here in the first half, Buchanan will take a seat on the bench for now. as he continues to be attended to. It will be UMass ball, inbounded by Terrell Vinson. Davis now, and the Minutemen down by 1. Nip and tuck throughout the afternoon so far. Williams, greeted by Amon this time on the double team out high. They look inside for the lane, and we're going to have a kicked ball as Milesevic got a foot on it.
You know, and Coach Hurley will trade Mike Powell's production today for any game played at all. I mean, he hasn't taken a shot. He will certainly do that when he has the opportunity, but he has a 3-to-1 assist-to-turnover ratio, and they'll take that every day of the week.
Williams on the hesitation, can't get it to go. Malone the rebound for Rhode Island. Brings it up ahead, met by Davis, now able to get it off to Powell. Powell picked up by Davis, the freshman. Looks over for Milesevic, and now resets through Powell. Under a minute and a half to play in the first half. Powell puts up the shot, a little bit too strong, and Amon with a push while going for the rebound.
Well, 2 pushes against Rhode Island going for offensive rebounds. You certainly don't mind that when your players are being very aggressive going after the basket. And then Mike Powell took his first shot in the first half. It was a good one, but he's playing with a tremendous amount of poise thus far in this first half. And because his production simply hasn't been there the last few games for Rhode Island. And like, as I mentioned before, with him playing so many minutes, he has every month. You have to wonder whether or not their legs are just giving out at this point in the season.
Most definitely is. Vincent at the line for a 1-and-1 opportunity. 67% on the season. Vincent's now got 6 points on the day. Comes in averaging 12.6 for the season, but 15.6 his last 9. Second one from Vincent is also good, and the Minutemen reclaim the lead. Malone delivers it in for Powell. Powell brings it up against Trey Davis. We've seen a lot of action here in the first half. Davis, who only averages 8 minutes per game, has nearly reached that here in the first half. Powell trying to break him down. Swings it for Malone. Thought about a deep 3, now drives it in. Baseline shot, no good. Lane can't quite grab it. Malone, second chance is good. And the Rams back on top by 1.
Yeah, and Andre Malone in his final game here at the Ryan Center, final game in his career, is really demonstrating to everyone here exactly what kind of player he is. Having a tremendous first half.
Riley trying to answer for 3, can't get it to go. Brooks had a good block out. Davis, though, driving through, and we're going to get a foul on Andre Malone for the block.
Well, the only way that turns out to be a block is if his foot was in the restricted area, because he had great position on that play. And Dan Hurley's like, come on, you got to be kidding me. This guy gets great position. Let's see where his foot is. That looks like an offensive foul all the way to me. And you can see why Andre Malone and Dan Hurley and Brian Brooks are really upset about that play.
They certainly had a beef that time as Davis able to connect on the first of 2 attempts. Both teams now in the double bonus for the final 34 seconds. Maxie Esho checks back in now for Coach Kellogg. Tie game. Davis, the freshman, a chance to give UMass the lead. The second shot is good. And the Minutemen now holding on to a 1-point lead. Shot clock is off. Rhode Island play for the last shot here in the half. Mike Powell bringing it up against Davis. Powell gives it up to Milesevic. Who's marked by Riley. Freddie Riley now applying some pressure on Milesevic. Milesevic trying to force his way in. Shot from the free throw line, bounces around, no good. Bigby fighting for the rebound, gets hit by Esho, ball on the floor, and they're going to say Bigby touched it while the ball was on the baseline, and he gets up a little gimpy here with 3.9 seconds left.
Oh, just unfortunate. Good shot by Nick Milesevic there. Had a really good look at it. Almost came up with the offensive rebound. Now Rhode Island with 4 seconds to go has to watch Chaz Williams.
Williams, we've seen him do this before. Puts up the wild 3 at the buzzer. Gets it to go. The Ram killer strikes again. Chaz Williams with a 3-pointer at the buzzer. gives the Minutemen a 4-point lead, 37-33. And UMass is 13-2 when leading. Get things going here in the second half. However, UMass 13-3 when leading at the half. The Rams in a little bit of trouble there. And unfortunately, we just received bad news from sports director Mike LaPrey. Looks doubtful for the return of TJ Buchanan after taking that elbow to the eye towards the tail end of the first half. So we'll keep an eye to see if Buchanan does indeed return, but things looking doubtful for now, and that's a key loss for Rhode Island.
It is a key loss because of the way TJ, has really helped at the point guard position, and also the defense that he's played in this game has really been outstanding.
Carter puts it on the floor, takes a couple of steps off the glass, no good. Milesevic trying to get a hand on it, did get a hand on it, but knocked it out of bounds. So we'll stay with the Minutemen. Fresh 35 seconds to work with for UMass. Quickly they get it in for Williams, who had the buzzer beater at the first half. Behind the back pass for Vincent, puts up the three, no good. And Lalane able to get to it, but they're going to say it touched the baseline as the ball came down, so no foul. It'll be Rhode Island ball. Malone quickly gets it in for Brooks. Brooks now leaves it for Malone. Working it against Samson Carter. Milesevic now trying to get past Lalane. Picked up by Vincent. Goes back up top for Powell. Powell with the handoff for Munford. Now for Malone. So plenty of time on the shot clock for Rhode Island. Powell drives baseline. Reverse layup. Oh, what an acrobatic move from Mike Powell. First 2 points of the day. Chaz Williams, though, anything you can do, I can do better. Answers with a quick deuce.
Absolutely answers the call. Rhode Island really slow to recognize Chaz Williams coming down full speed. Nobody helps Mike Powell out in the middle. Wide open layup for Chaz Williams.
Powell now picked up by Williams, gives it up to Munford. Xavier Munford finds Milesevic, launches the three. That one's going to be short and collected by Caddy Lalane. UMass now will slowly work it up for Williams. Nearly bounced it right on the sideline, but able to keep it alive for the Minutemen.
Chaz Williams only 2 points up to that point, right at the end of the half when he made that three-pointer off the glass. We certainly wonder whether or not he's going to be a little bit more aggressive on the offensive, and certainly that drive to the basket may demonstrate that. Yeah, we certainly expect that kind of aggressiveness out of Williams, who torched the Rams for 27 points earlier this season, an 81-58 loss for Rhode Island. Carter on the baseline. Shot no good. Shot clock violation as it did not touch the rim. A good defense. Rhode Island really bottled up Chaz Williams on the top, forced him to get rid of the basketball. And that's a good thing when you're playing UMass, to force him to give up the basketball, because you're able to play much better defense when he doesn't have it. And Rhode Island certainly did at that time. The ninth turnover of the day on UMass as Rhode Island able to break the mini press of the Minutemen. Mike Powell now slings it for Malone. Three-pointer, no good. In and out that time for the senior from Atlanta. Williams now. He'll bring it up for UMass. Trying to get something going offensively. Cuts back towards the lane. Scoop shot, no good. The lane there for the rebound. He gets poked in the eye. And we're going to get a foul on the Rams. This one is most likely going to go on Andre Malone. Yeah, you can see Chaz Williams has decided definitely that he's going to be much more aggressive. That was a shot that he did look for and did not take in the first half. And certainly Rhode Island has to be aware of that and certainly try to stay in front of him. Well, somehow they're going to get Nick Milesevic for the foul that time. He can't believe it, but that will be number 2 on the senior from Serbia. Not a shooting foul, so UMass will inbound it with a fresh 35 seconds. But Dan Hurley certainly has to be concerned. UMass has put the ball up on the glass, and Rhode Island has not been able to come up with very clean rebounds. Strong move to the hoop that time from Terrell Vincent, able to draw some contact, and he'll head to the line for 2. And with the smaller lineup for Rhode Island in the game, they're looking to take advantage and getting the ball on the inside, driving it, as well as the offensive rebound advantage. And Mike Amon coming in to help out on the inside. The foul starting to pile up on the Rams. That's the 3rd on Andre Malone. Vincent, who has 7 points on the day. This is the first of his 2 free throws. Mike Amon checks in as Ryan Brooks checks out. Second free throw now from Vincent. 67% free throw shooter is
Also no good, and Malone able to haul in the board. Quickly the other way comes Mike Powell. Powell resets now as he's picked up by Williams. Munford cuts towards him, now leaves it for Malone. Malone trying to get some men in motion. Here's Munford for three. Count it! Xavier Munford makes it a one-point game.
Yeah, beautiful action by Xavier Munford without the basketball. Got the ball, came up to the top of the three-point line. Gave that ball up, went to the basket, came back. Nice screen by Mike Gaiman that time to free him up for that jump shot.
Munford now with 12 points on the day for Rhode Island. Strong move to the hoop that time by Carter. Puts the lead back at 3 for UMass. UMass again picking up the pressure defensively, making the Rams earn it. Powell picked up this time by Riley. Gives it up for Malone. And we have Chaz Williams trying to fight through a screen. Is going to get called for the foul that time, so it will stay with the Rams.
And Chaz Williams that time strongly built. Decides he wasn't going to get picked off that time. Tried to go right through the screen. Of course, they called the foul.
Powell now matched up again against Williams as the Rams continue to rotate it around the perimeter. Munford for Malone. Had a second to shoot, a little bit too long that time, right into the hands of Terrell Vincent. Williams now leads the charge for UMass. Chaz Williams kicks it outside for Putney. On the inside now, Vincent trying to work against Milesevic. Shot from the elbow, no good, and Milesevic able to handle the rebound. Here come the Rams in transition. Mike Powell wheels it back around. Now we'll back it up. Powell surveys the scene. Takes a good look at Chaz Williams. Now gives it up to Malone. Back up top, Milesevic, and around it comes for Powell. Malone trying to set up for three. Now drives it inside. Forced a tough pass, and Milesevic is going to get called for the foul as he went up strong against Vincent. And it takes us to another break here at the Ryan Center. Rams trailing by 3. Xavier Munford trying to stay hot from long range. A limited time offer.
A nice comeback by Xavier Munford in this game. He's mentioned only had 3 points. Only shot the ball 6 times at St. Joe's in their last game. And nice comeback for him in this basketball game. 12 points right now.
Coming into this one as a third leading scorer in the Atlantic 10 as Amon picks up a foul while matched up against Williams, well away from the basket.
Yeah, unnecessary foul there. All you want to do in that particular instance is to force Williams to go wide, and then you recover back to your man a little bit close, too close.
Vincent now launches up the 3, no good. Powell able to bring down the rebound. And we talked about foul trouble for the Rams. Nick Milesevic right before that last break picked up his 4th. Rams will kick it back out now for Andre Malone, looking for Powell. Launches the 3, count it. He wanted it, he got it, and he drained it.
Well, absolutely, and Mike Powell is just picking his spots, and he's going to shoot. That time he knew he was wide open, really called for the ball real hard. They wound up getting it to him. He knocked down that 3-point shot.
5 points now for the Rhodey point guard as we get an offensive foul on Raphael Putney. It'll be Rhodey ball. That'll be the 3rd on Putney.
In addition to Mike Powell being such an important part of this Rhode Island team, they have Jordan Hare coming in the game, and he certainly is a big part of Rhode Island's future, and they certainly are looking forward to him, really increasing his production and getting used to the college game next season.
Powell now trying to take over, leaves it a little bit short that time on the reverse. Chaz Williams the other way, tie ball game here in Kingston. Williams kicks it outside. Riley, 3-ball, gets it to go again. Freddie Riley's been dangerous from downtown.
Well, he has, and what Mike Powell cannot do is to force the offense more than he has in this basketball game thus far. He's done a nice job controlling the pace and getting URI in their offensive sets, as well as defending against Chaz Williams. That's his primary role. That time he forced it just a little bit.
Munford, someone who can take over at any time, able to do so that time with the left hand. 14 points now for Xavier Munford. Chaz Williams and the Minutemen with a 1-point lead. Again, this truly has been a nip-and-tuck battle all afternoon. Riley swings it around for Vincent. He's picked up by Bigby. Williams now, down to 12 on the shot clock. Tries to use a screen from Vincent. Vincent now drives it inside, working the mismatch against Powell. Doesn't get it to go. Lalane, his 13th rebound. He's able to convert from close range. And the Minutemen back up by 3.
Big body on the inside, and he's one of the reasons why UMass is controlling the backboards right now. I mentioned before, Dan Hurley has to be a little bit concerned with Rhode Island's defensive rebounding, and UMass able to come up with second chance opportunities.
So Rams trying to get back in this one, down by 3. Munford trying to clear out some space, working against Williams, picked up on a screen by Hare. Back outside, Malone for 3. Count it! The senior on senior day dials that one in from long range, and we're tied up at 46. Andre Malone with 15.
You know, and Andre Malone, very unselfish player. I just really think he's needed to concentrate this entire season on getting the ball a little bit more. I've been looking for him, getting him free for shots. But certainly today, he's demonstrating just what a pure shooter he is.
Vincent picked up with Bigby. Now leaves it for Lalane. Lalane, little jump hook, no good. Hare fighting for the rebound, trying to tie up Vincent. And we're going to get a jump ball. Possession arrow with the Rams. It'll be a roadie ball.
Well, you love to see the big guy coming with the ball cleanly, but he really demonstrated right there that he's going to fight for that rebound. And fortunately for Rhode Island, they get the possession arrow going their way. Yeah, nice defense on the inside. Lane misses that one, but there Jordan Hare gets his hands on it and continues to fight for it. Jump ball that goes URI's way.
Yeah, Vincent, you could see the frustration on his face. He thought he had it clean at first, but Hare able to sneak in those hands and tie him up. So the Rams, Minutemen, all tied up here in Kingston. Mike Powell works it against the freshman Trey Davis. Powell, hounded really by Davis here. Gives it up for Munford, and now Bigby. Back around it goes now for Mike Powell. Powell, who's logged a ton of minutes this season, plays it off the leg of Vincent and brings us to a media timeout here at the Ryan Center. We return with significant advantage on the boards, 31-19, yet we're still knotted up at 46.
Well, we are, and one of the reasons why is that Rhode Island, even though UMass is coming with those rebounds, they have 9 offensive rebounds, they've only been able to manage 4 second chance points. And Rhode Island exactly the same 4 second chance points. So they haven't gotten hurt necessarily with UMass's offensive rebounding. But every time they come up with one, it gives you one less opportunity to come down and score yourself as well. So Rhode Island needs to get a little bit better, particularly on the defensive end.
Rhode Island now on the offensive end, shooting 5 of 9 here in the second half. Powell trying to work Davis. Bigby for 3. A little bit too strong, but Hare a huge rebound, and he's fouled by the Minutemen.
Oh, nice job by Jordan Hare that time. Went up with those 2 big hands and grabbed that very, very cleanly on the offensive end. And they certainly need that kind of effort from him and Mike Amon to be able to narrow that rebounding margin that UMass has right now.
So Hare able to draw the foul on Chaz Williams. That's his second of the ball game. Rams with a fresh shot clock to work with. Powell being hand-checked by Davis, now gives it up to Malone. Again, Milesevic still on the bench with 4 fouls, and TJ Buchanan unavailable after getting elbowed in the eye. Malone, strong to the hoop, puts it up and in, and 1 for Andre Malone, drawing the foul on Bergantino.
Well, Andre Malone playing a great game and showing the kind of strength he has at the guard position, and you can also consider this to be a second chance point simply because of Jordan Hare's offensive rebounds, and that time Andre Malone gets an advantage on the block, doing a nice job, just having a tremendous game here in his last game at the University of Rhode Island.
Andre Malone now with 17 points on the day, chance to make it a 3-point ball game, leaves it a little bit short, and Lalane with his 14th rebound of the day. Trey Davis, this time working against Munford. A little handoff for Williams, top of the key, tries to get around Bigby, using the screen from Lalane. Drives it strong, leaves it for Vincent, tied up by Bigby. And it will be indeed a jump ball possession, though, this time with UMass.
Well, nice job on the inside. Good defense all around for Rhode Island. You see Jordan Hare clogs up the middle, makes it impossible for Chaz Williams to shoot that ball, and Alwyn Bigby gets his hand on the basketball.
And this time we have a blocking foul on Alwyn Bigby. That's going to be his first of the day. And the 5th team foul on Rhode Island. So non-shooting situation here for UMass. They'll inbound it with a fresh 35 seconds to work with. Davis gets it in for Vincent. Now the handoff for Davis. Launches the 3. Side of the rim, no good. Ball loose, back to Vincent. Now Riley, who's been deadly from the outside. He is again. And the Minutemen back on top by 1.
And UMass returns the favor. Second chance opportunity at Jordan Hare at inside position, but was not able to go up and secure that rebound. That ball, he tapped that ball out, but UMass was able to recover it. And Riley knocks down yet another 3-point shot.
And this time Vincent picking up the foul as Bigby trying to make his way across the court. That'll be the 5th foul on the Minutemen. So fresh 35 seconds for the Rams. Powell working against Davis. Now leaves it for Malone. Mike Powell trying to use the screen from Hare. Powell looking for a shot again. This time has to give it up to Bigby and back for Powell. Davis really harassing Powell as he tries to work his way through the lane. Dishes off. Munford misses the jam. Thought he was fouled. Coach Hurley's looking for a tip ball, and they're going to say UMass ball. And the crowd here in Kingston doesn't like it, and neither does Coach Hurley.
Looking either for the foul and certainly looking for the fact that UMass may have gotten their hands on the basketball. But even if they did, you see Xavier Munford really exerting most of the force on that. Couldn't put it through the hoop, actually threw that one out of bounds.
A turnover situation as the lane able to jam it home for the Minutemen. And the lead now up to 3 for UMass. Williams, top 5 in the nation in assists, now has 7 on the day. Ball loose on the floor. Davis and Vincent trying to get there for UMass. Bigby with a push. And a pretty obvious one indeed. Crowd doesn't like it, but seemed pretty obvious from my vantage point.
Well, it certainly did look like he pushed when he finally got down the floor. And there you see two errors by Rhode Island. That time Mike Powell doesn't maintain his dribble and tries to get the ball.
And we look one more time there. We see the two-handed push from Alwayne Bigby. Williams now through the lane, gets hacked at, off the glass, no good. And this time it'll be Rhodey ball. Minutemen not happy, but they still lead this one by 3.
And Jordan Hare is showing, how he's so very valuable to this team. He's been clogging up the middle and making it very difficult for anybody coming inside to shoot over him. And that's the second time he forced Chaz Williams into a bad shot.
So Vincent checks out. In comes Maxi Esho for the Minutemen. Munford brings it up against Williams. Leaves it now for Malone, and we're going to have another whistle. Looks like it's going to go against the Minutemen. It's going to go against Freddie Riley, who's been doing most of his damage from downtown. 5 of 8 from 3. 15 points for Freddie Riley, who picks up his 3rd foul. Munford now, fresh 35 seconds to work with. Puts it on the floor now, gives it up to Malone. Up top for Hare, well out of his range. He leaves it for Powell. Powell trying to gain some space to get away from Davis. Has to go outside for Bigby. Now the handoff back for Powell. Swings it outside for Malone. Malone using a screen from Hare on Riley. Malone puts it up for 3. Leaves it short. Hare the rebound. Follow up for Bigby and gets it to go. We've got a 1-point game in Kingston.
And Jordan Hare asserting himself right now for Rhode Island on the inside. Yet another offensive rebound and beautiful pass to Alwayne Bigby on the block that time. Another second chance opportunity created by Jordan Hare for Rhode Island.
Williams, a nifty little dish. But we're going to have a blocking foul on Bigby. That's going to be his 3rd. Contact before the shot that time on Alwayne Bigby, the grad student out of Toronto. It's a 1-and-1 situation, though, for the Minutemen as we take another look at that last foul.
Yeah, unfortunately for Rhode Island, he dishes off this basketball, and there's a foul there. There's Esho right down on the block, dunks that one right over Jordan Hare.
Chaz Williams at the line, 7 points on the day. Make it 8 to go along with 7 helpers. Again, the only D1 player to average 15 or more points, 7 or more assists, and 4 or more rebounds as Nick Milesevic, saddled with those 4 fouls, continues to sit on the bench. You have to wonder when Coach Hurley is going to be able to bring back his senior.
Well, that's true, and he's had a good impact on this basketball game. Done a nice job on the defense, blocking shots in this game. So we certainly would want to get him back in the game. But Rhode Island, hanging in right now, and I'm sure he'll give Nick as much of an opportunity to be on the bench without coming up with the fouls he possibly can.
So a miss by Williams, key rebound by Hare, and the Rams down by 2. Andre Malone leaves it now for Bigby, who's seen a lot of action here in the second half with Milesevic on the bench. Malone thought about 3, now dribbles hard to the hoop, puts it up, leaves it short. Munford fighting for the rebound. Malone gets it back and gets it to go, and Coach Hurley is fired up.
Well, the energy that Rhode Island has right now on the offensive glass, everybody contributing right now. And I tell you, they've got Chaz Williams.
Williams back the other way. Goaltending violation on Jordan Hare. Makes it a 2-point game again here in Kingston in favor of the Minutemen. 7:59 when we return to the Ryan Center here on OSN. Rhode Island with Munford trying to tie things up. Can't get it to go. Trey Davis the rebound.
They've had Chaz Williams on Xavier Munford, and they have not gotten him the basketball in a position where he can take advantage of that height advantage that he has right now.
Williams pushing off against Powell, but they're going to get Powell for the foul. And Rhode Island now with 18 fouls. That'll put Chaz Williams at the line for a 1-and-1 opportunity.
And of course, shooting one-on-one, Chaz Williams not really the guy that you want to put on the line.
77% on the season. 10 points already for Chaz Williams. First one is good. And the lead pushed back up to 3 points now for UMass. And it looks like Milesevic getting set to check back in now. Well, he got into the table just a little bit too late. Now we'll have the chance after Williams connects on the second free throw. So do or die time here for Nick Milesevic. His final game in a Rhodey uniform. He's got 4 fouls and 7 minutes and 28 seconds to play out his career. Powell brings it up against Davis. Rams down by 4. Malone now leaves it for Milesevic. Around it goes for Mike Powell. Quickly for Milesevic, using the screen from Hare. Trying to penetrate on the baseline, gets into some trouble. Leaves it now for Powell, outside for Munford. 3-pointer, good! And we've got a 1-point game again. Smooth stroke from Xavier Munford, who now has 17 points on the afternoon.
An excellent poise by Rhode Island, particularly Mike Powell. He finds Xavier Munford on that 3-point line wide open as UMass helped out a little bit too much in the middle of the floor.
Vincent now dumps it in for Lalane. Lalane backing down, trying to find Williams. Lost the handle, kicks it back out for Vincent. Williams for 3. A dagger that time from Chaz Williams, and he's fired up.
Well, Rhode Island confused on the offensive end, but certainly, Chet, you cannot give the open 3-point shots to Chaz Williams.
No, certainly makes them pay, wide open or not. Munford now trying to break down the lane, leaves it for Hare, slicing to the rim, bounces around, no good. Ball loose, picked up by Davis. Trey Davis brings it up ahead for the Minutemen. Just over 6 minutes to play here in the second half. Chaz Williams trying to break down Munford. To the rim, no good. Malone there for the block and then knocks it out of bounds as he ran into Munford. Williams went down hard on the play, but seems to be all right.
Yeah, Chaz Williams looking to assert himself in this second half. You can see it, looking for a shot a little bit more, particularly looking to keep that dribble penetration alive and getting to the basket. He's either going to take that shot or he's going to dump it down, give his teammates easy shots underneath the basket.
So good minutes out of Jordan Hare, who just checked out. Mike Amon comes in for him. Riley from deep again. Freddie Riley now 6 of 9, and the largest lead of the day for the Minutemen at 7.
And good defense on that play by Andre Malone, but much better offense by Freddie Riley. That time he shot that one right in Malone's face.
So timeout called by Coach Hurley. Rams down by 7. We'll be back with more Rhodey Rams basketball here on OSN.
Next year, but certainly demonstrating why he's one of the top players in the league. He's just a multi-threat on the offensive end. He take the ball to the basket beautifully. We saw him with an alley-oop dunk. Creates all kinds of shots and angles for himself and makes those very, very difficult shots going into the lane. And I'm going to have to disagree with our colleague, Chris Fasano. He has him pegged for third team A-10. I don't know how he's less than at least a second team All-Atlantic 10. He's been one of the top scorers in this conference all season long. He's one of the most difficult guards in the league.
Milesevic from downtown cuts the lead back down to 4 with that three-pointer. Nikola's got 11 points on the day. Trey Davis now, as Coach Hurley imploring the defense to get it done. Williams now receives the handoff. Whips it around to Vincent, trying to get inside. No good. Munford fighting for the rebound and draws a foul. He'll head to the line. Key rebound that time from Xavier Munford.
And Dan Hurley imploring this team. We talked about them playing for pride in this game and not to give up. And you certainly had to wonder, since this team does not really have anything to play for as far as the A-10 tournament is concerned, how would they come out? Would they feel like, would they just mail it in essentially and not really give it their best effort? Well, we're certainly seeing that this team is still giving it its best effort in this final game at the Ryan Center this season.
Munford now with 18 points after making that first free throw. That last foul charged to Terrell Vincent, his 4th. So UMass now with a little bit of foul trouble of their own. As Milesevic checks out, Alwyn Bigby checks back in for the Rams. I think it's a good thing that Coach Hurley's got those sneakers on today as the Rams participating in the Coaches versus Cancer, as he's been hopping around like a madman on the sideline all day long. But it certainly has worked wonders for the Rams. They're down by only 2 with 5 to play. Munford, though, gets tripped up over his own feet as Davis backed him down. And that will put UMass back at the line for a 1-and-1.
Trey Davis that time playing like a senior, just really stopped in his tracks and forced Munford to come over the back just a little bit.
Davis at the line now for a 1-and-1 chance, 78% on the season. Nick Milesevic back in for Rhode Island. Looks like Coach Hurley trying to get him in and out, defense for offense situations. Don't want him to pick up that 5th foul. And he comes through in the clutch with a rebound. Rams down by 2. A chance to tie or take the lead again. Crowd getting into it here in Kingston on Senior Day. Milesevic back outside for Malone. Andre Malone now leaves it for Munford. Still plenty of time on the shot clock. Williams matched up against Munford. Got a pretty good shot on him. Malone able to scoop up the loose ball. Down to 10 now on the shot clock. Malone. Little jumper, no good. And Lillane able to walk the tightrope on the end line. And keeps it alive for the Minutemen. Chaz Williams brings it up again.
An advantage for Chaz Williams and UMass when they look for Xavier Munford on the outside and ask him to dribble against Chaz Williams. That's a very difficult play for Xavier Munford to make. I really do believe that they can get him a little bit closer to the basket where he's able just to rise up and shoot over Chaz Williams.
Williams looking inside for Lillane, able to finish with a left-handed jam. Lillane now with 8 points for the Minutemen. They lead by 4, under 4 to play.
Well, in that time, Chaz Williams creating difficulties for Rhode Island on the defensive end, draws players to him, and he does a great job. He has 7.5 assists, which is 5th in the NCAA this season.
Amon able to finish, able to get just enough space on the lane. 2-point game again in Kingston.
Well, Rhode Island doing a great job finding Amon down on the block. Does a nice job with that left-hand shot, getting it over the lane.
UMass now on the attack with Williams. Well, on his last time down the floor, picked up his 8th assist of the day. Again, one of the top assist men in the entire nation. At 209 coming into today's contest, and Vincent connects from downtown. The lead back to 5.
What a big shot by Vincent that time. It certainly looked like Chaz Williams pushed off with his offhand. That call was not made, although Dan Hurley certainly let the referees know he wasn't pleased with that no foul call.
Rams trying to answer. Here's Munford. getting an elbow that time from Williams. And a technical foul called on Williams as he got right in the face of Xavier Munford.
Yeah, a little taunting over there. Made a nice defensive play. Let Xavier Munford know it for sure. But also the referee was right there. Didn't like the language. Didn't like the attitude. Got called for the technical foul.
Takes us to a media timeout here at the Ryan Center. When we return, it'll be Xavier Munford at the line here on OSN. On the day. So here's the situation. As the ball was knocked out of bounds off of Munford, Williams got in his face, got called for a technical foul. So Munford will shoot the 2 technical foul shots. However, it will be UMass ball on the baseline after the 2 free throws. As Williams picking up the technical. That was his 3rd personal. Munford misses both. And to make matters worse, as mentioned, it is UMass ball. So the Rams cannot capitalize. And very strange for Munford to miss. He's usually a 75% free throw shooter. Has come up with big baskets all season long, but unable to deliver on those 2 freebies.
Yeah, there's a missed opportunity for Rhode Island that time, where they could have taken advantage of the unsportsmanlike conduct from Chaz Williams. Unfortunately for Rhode Island, missed the 2 free throws, so UMass takes advantage of the great Chaz Williams defensive play in the corner.
So here we go, down to 13 on the shot clock. Just over 2 minutes to play. Williams pushes off of Hare, now leaves it for Davis. 3-pointer is good with Munford in his face. Huge 3 that time from the freshman Davis.
Well, how about that? URI misses 2 free throws. UMass, a couple of tough 3-point shots in their half-court offense. Coming up with an 8-point lead now against Rhode Island. All of a sudden, UMass in control of this game.
That was the 11th 3-pointer of the day by UMass as Hare able to finish on the alley-oop from Powell. 6-point game again. The Rams in desperate need of a couple stops here on the defensive end. Williams will slow things down and take as much time off the clock as possible as the Minutemen nurse a 6-point lead. UMass fighting for the 6th seed in the A-10 tournament. They would also need a Xavier loss at Butler should they hold on here today in Kingston. 7 on the shot clock for Williams, and a blocking foul on Hare. Looked like Williams might have pushed off. That's what Coach Hurley is asking for, but instead they get the blocking foul on Hare, and that puts UMass in the double bonus.
Well, Williams has pushed off on a few occasions. But unfortunately for Rhode Island, once again, we saw Mike Amon play him this way, and now we see Jordan Hare where he comes out, he helps out. But that's a help situation. You have to give that guy a little bit of space. If you bump him out there, it's going to be called against the defensive player without a doubt. And of course, you cannot put Chaz Williams on the line.
No, you certainly can't. Williams now 16 points, 10 rebounds, his 6th double-double of the season. Excuse me, that was 10 assists, not 10 rebounds. Makes good on the 2nd free throw now with 17 points. Mike Powell and the Rams down by 8 now. Need to get some offense going quickly, and takes a fortuitous bounce off the foot of Davis.
That is a lot of rebounds for Chaz Williams. He's certainly capable. Had 9 rebounds as his career high, so he certainly can get there, but not every day.
Not every day. That would put him close to a triple-double. Williams with just 2 rebounds at the last media break. Powell goes up strong. We're going to get a foul on Davis. Shooting foul will put Mike Powell at the line for 2. Powell, a 74% free throw shooter.
And the play before for URI, they were able to get an alley-oop dunk to Jordan Hare, where he was just open again. Mike Powell did a nice job coming in the lane, drew Jordan Hare's man to him. Jordan Hare swung to the basket. Mike Powell unfortunately missed him and misses the free throw.
The Rams shooting themselves in the foot here down the stretch. Munford a couple of missed free throws. Now Powell missing one as well. Down by 8 and just 64 seconds remaining. Can't afford to give these points up at the line. 2nd free throw from Powell. That one also a miss. And all of a sudden, there's a lid on the basket for the Rams when they're at the line. Milesevic trying to track down Williams. is going to get called for the foul, and that will do it for Nick Milesevic. He picks up a technical as well. Not exactly the way you want to go out in your final game.
No, I mean, frustration. Yeah, Chaz Williams, once again, does a nice job just stopping, forcing the contact between he and Milesevic. The foul gets called, and Milesevic, very frustrated, obviously, feeling that Chaz Williams, was playing unfairly at that time. But you just can't lose your head. And as you mentioned, not a way to go out with this being your last game at the Ryan Center.
Yeah, especially when it's a tight game down the stretch. As now we'll take a look at our Supercuts most valuable Rams of the game. Today it's Andre Malone, one of the seniors shining on senior day. And also Xavier Munford has been able to light it up again for the Rams. Two Supercuts most valuable Rams of the game, Andre Malone and Xavier Munford. Wherever you go, there's a Supercuts to give you a cut that rocks. Supercuts has 31 Providence area locations, all dedicated to making you feel like a rock star. Check out supercuts.com to find a location near you. Rock the cut at Supercuts. So that does it for Nick Milesevic. His time here in Kingston is done. It's a bunch of hugs from the bench and his coaches. But Williams at the line, a chance to seal the deal for the Minutemen. Makes good on the first of his free throw attempts.
And the way URI has played in this game, you hate to see them, lose it the way that they did in the last few minutes of this basketball game, where they missed opportunities to make free throws to keep the game close. I think that Xavier Munford and also Andre Malone missed opportunities to get them the basketball. URI missed opportunities to get them the basketball in the final minutes of this game, because both of those guys have had a great offensive game. Particularly Andre Malone, who really is able to take advantage, given his size, and I think Xavier Munford as well. They didn't find him in really great spots when Chaz Williams was playing him on the defensive end.
So Williams connects on 3 of his 4 free throw attempts as Nick Milesevic has checked out.
He kicked him.
So 57 seconds remaining. UMass now with its largest lead of the day. 75-64. Vincent gets it in to Williams. And I don't think that Coach Hurley's going to have them foul at this point in the game. Seems to be conceding this one to the Minutemen. Munford now challenging and trying to make life interesting for Davis. UMass in the midst of an 11-2 run to close out the game. UMass had 4 runs of 9 or more points the first time these two teams met. That one, an 81-58 decision in Amherst. As we have a shot clock violation on the Minutemen.
And that foul against Nick Milesevic wound up being a dead ball foul where he actually kicked Chaz Williams. So not a technical foul, but he actually kicked Chaz Williams a dead ball foul.
So the careers of 3 more Rams come to a close as Bigby, Brooks, and Malone check out. In for the Rams now, Eric Jankowski, John Nazarko, and Shane Plunkett. As Munford takes one last drive to the hoop for 2. Still, though, a 9-point game, and that will just about do it. Munford will finish today with 21 points. The A-10's third leading scorer. Vincent brings it up. Trey Davis will hold. And the Rams will fall to 8-21 on the season, 3-13 in A-10 play. UMass improves to 19-10.